My name is Caitlin Shorting, and today I'm going to tell you a little about non-standard measurement. We all know how to use rulers already. I don't have my ruler, but I do have my handy dandy measuring tape. But something that we're going to talk about today is how to measure with things that are not rulers. So, for instance, I have this rectangle up here. I can measure it with a ruler, and it's about 10 inches. But I could also measure it in other things. I have a piece of chalk. So you could say it's 1, 2, a little under 3 pieces of chalk. We can measure in paper clips. So I have some paper clips all stuck together. Can say that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 paper clips long. We could use something like a bottle. This is hand sanitizer. So you could say this is 1, 2, and maybe a third of bottles. We could also use something like a straw. It's less than 2 straws long. Or maybe we could make the straw bigger and say, well, still less than 2 straws long. So maybe, 1 1/5? You can use non-standard measurement for lots of things. You could say that the floor is, 12 tiles long. And if you know how long a tile is, which normally they're about, 12 feet, 12 inches, then you would have 12 feet of tiles, which is 144 inches. If you wanted to measure in dollar bills, they're about 6 inches long. So if you had something that was $3 bills long, then you'd have something that is 18 inches or 1.5 feet long. So today we're going to do a little worksheet. It says, follow the directions using paper clips. Find the length of the following rectangles. Make sure to give your answer in numbers of paper clips. So we'll grab our paper clips, and I have them hooked end to end. What you would do is you place one on one end and one on the other, and then you would count 1, 2, of course, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So rectangle A is 6 paper clips long. If you wanted to measure paper clip B, you would do the exact same thing. You would start with your paper clip on one end, and then hold it out and measure how many paper clips there are. So this time there are only 4 paper clips. So you would say that rectangle B is 4 paper clips long. For the next part, it says, using a marker, find the length of the following objects. So the first one asks, what is the length of the whiteboard? So you would take your marker, and we would use this as the whiteboard, and you would just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just over 5. So you would say that the whiteboard is 5 markers long. You can also do subtraction. If you know that the whiteboard is 5 markers long, and you know that this rectangle is 1, 2 markers long, then you could find the length of the whiteboard, which is 5, minus the length of the rectangle, which is 2, and that would give you 3 markers long. One thing you want to be aware of is that when you're measuring, you couldn't say that the whiteboard is 1 marker and 1 piece of chalk and 1 bottle and 1 pair of chopsticks and 1 straw long. You have to use the same thing every single time. So if you're going to measure the height of this, you could only use chopsticks. So you would say it's 1, 2, little under 3 chopsticks long. So you could use the less than sign to say that it is less than 3 chopsticks long. And you can also do this, with your shoes. You could go to the bookcase and count how many shoes. But because not everybody has the same size feet, you'd have to say, Stacy's shoes are, the bookcase is the length of 10 of Stacy's shoes. Or you could say the bookcase is the length of 8 of John's shoes, because they're a different size. So you have to be specific in what you use. So if I was measuring in this piece of chalk, I would probably say the big piece of chalk instead of just a piece of chalk, because normal chalk is smaller than this. Markers are normally about the same size, unless they're small markers or really big markers. So calling it a marker would be okay. I would probably call this a small bottle, because there are big bottles like lotion bottles or water bottles. So if you're going to use a bigger bottle, you could say water bottle or a liter bottle, 3-liter bottles, which are bigger. So for the last question, we could also do, other than subtraction or addition, we could do multiplication. We could say if this rectangle, or what is the length of this rectangle plus the length of this rectangle in paper clips. So first you would find the length of the first rectangle, just the same way that we've been doing it, folding this up to one end and then counting how many will fit into the space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is 7 paper clips. And then you would do the same for the second one. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 paper clips. So you would do 12 plus 7, which is 19 paper clips long. So 12 plus 7 is 19 paper clips. So the way you would check it is if you took this rectangle and placed it right next to this rectangle, it would be probably about that long. And then you would measure to see how many paper clips it is. And that's how you could check it. Another way that you could check it is to see how long one paper clip is. You would take your ruler, and this paper clip is an inch long, and then you could look and see how many inches this square is. So this square is about 7 inches long, the rectangle, and this rectangle is about 12 or 1 foot. And again, if you wanted to check it by placing the two rectangles next to each other, you could check it this way and say that yes, that would be about 19 inches long. So that is how we do non-standard measurements.